Well, I'm not going to monetize this video. Actually, I'm requesting monetization on my last cat video with my Perfection kerosene heater. YouTube is like, putting a yellow icon. Usually they approve them, but I don't know. Anyway, one thing I want to drive home this one point. I know there's a lot of people like that are not Muslim that don't like Islam or whatever, right? But you notice, like, if you weren't born yesterday, you know there's an agenda where Islam is like hands off. Don't criticize it. Don't do anything or whatever, right? You notice this, right? Well, what's the deal? Why is it like that? I'm going to tell you what it is. Really, it meets. You see, Islam is like the caliphate, like in other words, taking over the world with Islam, right? In other words, it's globalist. That's the whole key. That's why the globalists support Islam. I think a lot of people miss that point. It's like common sense 101 to the max. Oh yeah, chemtrails. I'm not going to throw you conspiracy theory here. Well, I think chemtrails probably is real, but I don't like to look up in the sky all the time and try to check for them. But let me tell you this. That's the whole deal right there. And it's almost like also the clash of cultures is very good for the Hegelian dialect, because the more problems you got, hey, the more freaking rules you need, the more police you need, the more freaking controls you need. Now, the other side of the New World Order is the Roman Catholic Church. Now, I'm Roman Catholic, okay? And I don't support this current Pope because I think he's a load of it. But the deal is, if you look at the Roman Catholic Church, today, man, it's like anything goes, right? I mean, this Roman Catholic Pope is like, first off, you know what Catholic traditionally used to be before Vatican II, right? It was one thing. And whether you agree with it or not, that's what it was supposed to be. But even the Catholic Church got this agenda, like, make the whole world Catholic, right? It's kind of a globalist thing. But the new Catholic Church is not the old Catholic Church the way it should be. And they just like, any religion is fine. You know what I mean? That's New World Order garbage too. But that's another factor where religion is being part of the New World Order. But Islam, in its essence, is take the whole world over and everybody be Islamic. Okay? That's why the globalists like it. Now, that could all backfire in their face, too. I don't know. These guys ain't that smart. Maybe it'll get happen. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I can't predict the future, but I can tell you that there's a lot of different things that could be happening. First off, the weather could be changing and the society could fall from that, whatever. And, there's global starvation going on all the time. Look at the hungry kids. But, the deal is that people are not thinking about, the elitists probably aren't really thinking this all the way through. Because, they always live in these ivory towers. And, yeah, I always think back at a time, what was it, 1453? Constantinople. When it fell to the Ottoman Turks, boy, the elitists all got squashed in the last building and went, they all chopped them up, man, right? That might happen to the current bunch of elitists, I ain't gonna care. Anyway, but they got their global food bank and a seed bank going. But the deal is, the whole deal, like this. Like, I just want to say this: I'm not gonna advertise or put the, YouTube or whatever. They can do whatever the hell they want. This thing isn't whatever. But that's the deal. Why hands off on Islam? Hands off on Islam. That's why it's like that. Because it's a force of globalism. That's why the globalists want it. It's maybe not they don't want maybe that per se, but it's going to help them meet their globalist goals. What the globalists think is that they think, the elitist guys think they're going to use Islam as a tool for their stepping stone. Well, I can tell you historically, everybody that did that wound up backfiring at them. You know what I mean? They can hide. Elitists might hide, and they can't. You know what I mean? They can run, but they can't hide. They might be in their own little depopulation plan for all I know. They could be the ones that get nailed. I don't really know what's going to happen. But I think the elitists are freaking kind of stupid in a lot of ways. Now, I'm talking very plain, very like working class Joe guy, but I can tell you right now, I'm one of the shrewdest bastards going, because I'm shrewder than the bastards I work for, and I wish I made the money that they made. But I made them the money. I was the guy that made them the money. And even on this YouTube, I could probably concentrate making more money. Like I was thinking about putting a video out on some of these practical things on heating up the bolts to get off your exhaust system by the exhaust manifold on a Chevy, right? Which, that video would probably make some money because people like knowing that kind of stuff and what the tricks are, because some of those things are very difficult to get off, and it's like, for bolts. And it's a practical thing. It's kind of survival video, and usually they make some kind of money eventually. This videos ain't going to make no money because YouTube's going to bury it. But this is really, I'm not going to monetize it though, But that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Actually, it's like hands off of Islam, because Islam, they're thinking, since Islam at its essence is globalist, it's meeting the globalist goals. They want them to do the work for them. You see? And, the globalism actually is kind of like, it may not necessarily have to do with nations' boundaries. Once you got everybody thinking the same way in the world, and you pretty much have trade, whereby it's almost like there's no nations, and just basically people can come and go, whatever the hell they want. I mean, basically, when you have everybody thinking the same way in the world, it's like you put a McDonald's back in the middle of Tibet or something like that, and it's like, common, everywhere it's common, that you see things that are the same everywhere. It's like people don't have unique cultures anymore. That's globalism already, without even, making it formally like one world. It's already there. We're actually practically there already. I also want to talk real briefly about the message of Fatima. I know the only thing I know surefire about that thing is that the church itself, even though they don't tell you the whole third secret, the church itself is going to be taken over from within. And obviously that's what happened. It's already happened before Pope Francis. Pope Francis is like horrible, man. And, one of the other things, they said Russia would spread its errors throughout the world, which is like communism, socialism, and stuff, which is already going on. And some people think socialism is a good thing. Socialism is a good thing when you want to do it voluntarily. Like, in other words, you want to be part of this community and help others, and that's because you joined the group, fine. When they make you join it, and they make you freaking pay to join it, screw that, It's got to be voluntary. So, I'm against socialism when it's coerced. So, but some people think socialism is okay. No, it ain't okay when it's coerced, and basically that's what's going on. It's coerced, But, I think there's going to be a lot of freaking curveballs coming up, man, because, oh, man, there's so many. Well, it's going to be interesting, First off, like, today, you can't get in any kind of domestic disputes and stuff because, if you yell at the wife, they can, they could have a goon squad come in here and blow you away or something, right? Which is going against the Islamic rules where the wife is, owned, right? It's going to be kind of interesting how this is all going to work out within the court system in the United States. You know what I mean? It could be a lot of unforeseen problems. I can tell you that right now. So, I don't know. But, for you people getting wrapped up, Islam this, Islam that, and, whatever. I actually see a bright side on some of the stuff, I mean, I ain't religious in a lot of ways, but, because I think religion in itself is a form of control. And I know even when they wrote the Quran, it's like when they made it pure. That's because they threw out all the stuff that didn't agree right in the beginning. A lot of people that are Islamic, Muslim, don't even know that. That's really what happened. You know that? But, if you like the Quran, do whatever you want, man. I mean, I agree with some of the stuff in there. Not all of it, obviously, but I agree with some of it. You know, I'm not going to get bent out of shape about a lot of things. So, but, you know, I'm just telling you, that's why the elitists tell you hands off on Islam. They're figuring they're going to use Islam as a force of globalism. Because Islam, at the heart of it, the caliphate, is taking over the world with Islam. Now, the elitists don't really want it that way. They want to just, they probably got some other plan, as long as these guys are on the top. But, you know, it may not work out that way. Because everybody, I tell you, man, everybody that try to use us Muslims and use them to their advantage wind up backfiring on them. I just hope it backfires on the elitists. That would be kind of funny, because I don't really give a crap about them, you know. Anyway, just figured to put this out here, because, you know, a lot of people aren't thinking this all the way through. You know, you're like, how come the government, how come all the top people are doing this and that? And, you know, how come YouTube doesn't let you say Islam? You know, how come they don't even let you say it, right? Half the time, right? You can't say Islam. Because they, you know, it's the policy. They want globalism, man. It's a force of globalism. See? That's all they're doing. Everybody's a globalist. I mean, YouTube's globalist. I mean, YouTube's in every country, except maybe China, right? Or maybe it's in China, but not too much. I mean, whatever. Facebook's globalist, right? It's all over the place, practically. See? We already got globalism, man. Right? That's what's going on, dude. So, just figured I'd tell you, man, you know, there is always a logic behind why they do something. You know, logic is so simple, people gotta, like, gear back a few yards to figure out what it is. You know, but I also could see these elitists probably going to screw up, because they never think of everything right. You know, they never do. There's always something that comes out of left field, man. And, you know, I don't really get bent out of shape about Muslims, Islam. I don't. I mean, yes and no. But I can get bent out of shape about Christians, though, more or less sometimes. You know what I mean? I can get bent out of shape about atheists, because they got their own damn dogma. Atheists, they insist they're right, you know. Actually, you know, when you think about it, every religion is a belief system, which means when you believe when it's a belief system, it means you could be wrong. You know? You ever think of it like that? That's why I don't give Jews a lot of crap about anything, because, you know, it's like Christians will say, I believe in Jesus. Well, you know, they're not saying it. I know that Jesus is an absolute fact, and everybody that doesn't notice it's not that, you know what I mean? You got some, you know, coincidental proof here, and you got hearsay evidence. You don't have any freaking flat out proof, because it was that self-evident. Everybody would say Jesus is 100% correct, right? So it's a belief system. So when you say it's a belief system, you're also saying you could be wrong, right? That's the way I look at it, man. Pretty common sense. So, I mean, I don't give nobody shit about religion, but, you know, I guess the one part that's bad about Islam is if you don't go along with the whole 9 yards of what they say, maybe they want to whack you, right? But, I don't know. Maybe they should whack somebody else, because I agree with a lot of the stuff they say in a lot of ways, because, you know, Islam and feminism don't get along good. I don't agree with feminism at all. I'll go with the Islamic side right there. You know? So I'm okay with that part. I don't think chicks ought to wear burqas, though, because, you know what, that's bad because for health. Because they don't get enough vitamin D, because they're not exposed to the sun. Right? You wear a burqa, you're gonna have vitamin D deficiency, which is a very important hormone, which, you know, prevents cancer and all this other stuff. So, I mean, not for religious reasons, but for vitamin D reasons. Actually, there's other things that the sun does, you know. You know. So, anyway, over now, just gonna throw my 2 cents out in here, because I just figured I would.